morning. Pat Zemer here with MagnaWave for the MagnaWave office hours every Tuesday morning. Come to you to answer any questions you may have, talk to you about various things going on in the world of PEMF and energy supplementation. So I'm glad to be here. I hope you all had a great Labor Day weekend. That's where we are. It's the Tuesday after Labor Day, and a beautiful weekend here in Kentucky. So I hope you had a great Labor Day wherever you are in this beautiful United States or around the world, wherever it may be. Want to welcome you to the program today. If you have comments or questions you'd like to ask me, you can call me at 502-599-9722, and we can have a conversation or discuss anything that you would like. What I want to do before we get going this morning, and again, if you have questions, just post them in the chat box here on the Facebook page, and I'll be happy to take a look at them and answer any questions that you may have. But before we get there, I want to tell you about some things going on. Hopefully this week we'll be starting the MagnaWave Flash Briefing on Alexa, to where you'll be able to go to Alexa and say MagnaWave, or say Alexa, what's my MagnaWave Flash Briefing? And you'll pick up a tidbit of history about PEMF, information about various protocols utilizing PEMF, various ways in which PEMF is used, MagnaWave is used, and all that type of information. There'll be a new MagnaWave Flash Briefing every day, and there's a world of information that we want to share. So it's just a way to learn more about MagnaWaving and to pick up more knowledge about various uses for this wonderful, what we consider a wonderful type of therapy and wellness opportunity. So that'll be starting this week is the plan. At this point for the MagnaWave Flash Briefing. So keep an eye out on the page here, because there'll be descriptions, and it'll also be on the website as to how to sign up for and to make it available on your Alexa to be able to ask questions, or well, not at this point, to receive the Flash Briefing. Where we're going to go with this also is we're going to have a way that we're working with Alexa, and we're also going to do Google and Siri, to where you will be able to go to these areas and ask a particular question and receive an answer right there in that particular form of education and learning with Alexa, Google, and Siri or Apple, the whole 9 yards. So keep an eye out for that on the page. We're excited about that. It's fun, and it's also, we figure, very educationally and beneficial to practitioners and people who want to learn more about MagnaWaving and PEMF. Also, I wanted to let you know what's going on with regard to the MagnaWave Express. We're going to begin traveling around the country a week or two a month to various localities and hosting open houses, clinics, that type of thing in areas that we aren't very strong, and in areas where we have a lot of practitioners, or we have practitioners, so we can meet and greet the practitioners and also be able to help them in their market, in their area with, like, as I said, clinics and open houses. So we look forward to that. Our first venture with the MagnaWave Express will be to Kansas City. It'll be next week, the 14th, 15th, 16th. We may be out the 17th and 18th of September in the Kansas City, St. Louis areas, but Kansas City primarily. We're going to the Cleveland Chiropractic College to work with Dr. Nelson Vatanzi, chiropractor from the Denver area, as he speaks and works at the college, the Cleveland College of Chiropractic, with his gravitational methods of chiropractic and how he implements and how we can implement MagnaWaving and PEMF into those types of processes. So we're looking forward to that. It'll be a great trip. And so first one will be to the Kansas City area, and then we'll be in Lexington the early October for the Retired Racehorse Project. That's where people who work with retired racehorses and repurpose them into other disciplines, hunter jumping, trail riding, dressage, whatever it may be, and they have a competition, and these people will be coming together to participate. And so we'll be at the Retired Racehorse Project in Lexington. That'll be a fun time. We're participating as a sponsor for this particular activity at the Kentucky Horse Park. So that will be early October. Late October, around the Breeders' Cup, we'll be at EquestriCon exhibiting and working together with the folks there to bring a lot of good information again about this health and wellness Magna waving and how we work together to do that. So that's the beginning of the Magna Wave Express, and then we'll begin our southern tour, what we're calling our southern tour through the winter months, heading out, going down towards Louisiana, maybe into Texas, down through Florida and those areas, again working with practitioners in various areas for clinics and training. If you'd like for us to come to your area, reach out and let us know, and we'll try to work it into the schedule. So this is going to be a year-long project. We got to start somewhere, and so if you'd like to participate, please let us know, and we'll do what we can. It's our goal to, interestingly enough, we spend a lot of time, my wife and I, Debbie and I did, at the beginning of our business, about 5 years. I was about 7 years, about 5 years full time, traveling the country to work, to educate and help build the business. And what our plan is now to help people in various areas to meet and to help with clinics and that type of thing. So we're excited about it, looking forward to it, to have some fun and be able to get around and meet and greet with you, the practitioners, and you folks who want to learn more and maybe participate with us in this area of health and wellness. So that's what's coming up. If you have questions, let me take a look here and see if we've had, come on, my phone went dark. Let's see what we've got, if we have any questions. No questions at this point, but if you have some questions, please put them up. If you got something you'd like for me to discuss, put it up there, and I'd be happy to discuss it at this point. Or if you'd like to call me, it's 502-599-9722. One thing I was thinking about on the way in this morning, of course, after the weekend, I made all these plans, what I maybe wanted to talk about, and then all of a sudden you get busy doing, we had a lot of family over to the house over the weekend, so a lot of the planning that I was hoping to do, I didn't get a chance to complete. But anyway, one of the things that was kind of, I was thinking about that we do talk about a lot is the health and wellness world, the health and wellness, how important health and wellness is today. And certainly, as Paul Zane Pilzer talks about in one of his latest books, is the health and wellness industry and how large it is and how much it's growing. Well, certainly there's a lot of folks who are more senior, I guess you would say, that are looking very intently at their health and wellness and what they can do to better maintain their health as they age. And certainly younger people are saying, gosh, what can I do to stay healthy, to stay well, so I don't need to do a lot of the things that people maybe have done with regard to medicine and so forth, to maintain my health and that type of thing. And you know, it really is, it's amazing to me how people want to discuss what do I need to do, how can I utilize this to stay healthy, to be better prepared for what's coming or what's going on in my life. And one of the things that the people always ask, what does it do? And I don't want to be redundant in this, but quite often it is just if you can help your body maintain good oxygenation, that gives you good cellular health, good cellular balance, the right amount of energy or electronics within the blood cells, if you will, so they're healthier. If they're healthy, they're going to do a better job. If they're healthy, they're going to better fight off infections or fight off things that can attack them and cause tumors or cause disease in the body. And so that's what we're all about. Energy supplementation, basically, just to help the body maintain its health, help the body be better prepared to heal itself, and the body will do that. It's amazing the miracles that can be achieved with good blood flow and good oxygenation in the body. And that's all we're doing, is just helping the body be a little better ready to accept its oxygenation and improve and stay healthy. And gosh, there's so much going on that with supplementation today and exercise and various things you can do, and you got to do it all. I mean, you can't say that I'm going to do this and not do that and I'll be okay. You know, they always talk about if you're not going to eat properly or have a good diet, then a lot of other things that you do don't necessarily add to the situation or the prime health that you're looking for. So and people are doing it. They're looking at it, whether it's vegan or vegetarian or low carb or keto, whatever it may be. They're doing a lot of things to bring things together, and just a lot of research going on there. And it's fun to talk about how these various things work together. Very complementary with everything going on, and that's always fun and interesting to do. So again, if you have any questions, please ask them, and I'd be happy to put them up here. And I don't want to do that. Let me bring this up, see what we've got. Good morning, Kathy, Keith, hello, Jason. Thanks for being here with us. Here's a question. I'm working on a client with a severe tendon issue in her elbow. I think she was expecting immediate results after the first treatment, but because of the severity, it will definitely take several treatments with more serious issues. How many treatments does it take usually, at least to show some improvement? Well, I mean, the question is, I don't know exactly what you did or how you treated, but certainly if there's pain, we would hope for potentially some pain improvement pretty quickly. But when you're dealing with a tendon, it's much more difficult to get inflammation out of a tendon or a nerve, and as it is muscle tissue or soft tissue. So it's in that case, if it's specifically in a tendon, which your description was, it could take several treatments to get it to the point that the inflammation is beginning to reduce to where they start to get some relief. Can I say 3 treatments? It depends how long the issue's been around, how long this particular person's had this problem in their elbow, and what's going to happen. But certainly, if you stay with it and go, you'll get some relief, just as they will with what they're looking for. So it's hard to say how many treatments. I would say what I would recommend in that case would be, let's do 5 to 7 days every day for 8, 10, 12 minutes on the area, and then as it begins to improve. We always want the instantaneous results, and we get those a lot. But certainly, as I said earlier, tendon nerve issues take longer. In my wife's case, and I know I've said this before, she had 3 herniated discs, and so when we began to treat her, she got immediate relief. She got immediate muscular relief to where she could move her arm and have less pain. But we treated her for 30 days, as I was just talking about, and at the end of 30 days, we stopped, and she got 2 weeks worth of relief. Then we treated her another 30 days, every other day this time, and stopped, and she got about 4 weeks worth of relief. I said about because it depends what happens. She gets 4 weeks worth of relief, but if she goes out and works in the yard, we can't do anything about the herniated disc. Or if she picks up the grandbabies and does this type of stuff, then she's stressing the area a little bit, and she may need treatments more frequently. But typically, on an average, she gets 3 to 4 weeks worth of relief. And then we treated an additional 30 days thinking maybe she'll get 6. Well, she got 4. So for the last 14 years now, with regard to her herniated disc, she treats herself 2 or 3 times, and she gets 3 to 4 weeks worth of relief. And she goes to the doctor, and they say, my gosh, we got to do something about your back. They x-ray and they talk, and she says, my back doesn't bother me. I'm fine. And so coming back again to this particular thing, with her, it took many days to get a couple of weeks worth of relief. And so that's where you need to look at it. And the question comes down to me is, when I'm dealing with someone like that, I'll ask them, okay, let's flex it. Okay, it was a 10 when we started. What is it now? Is it an 8? Is it a 5? Is it a 6? So you got to look at that and ask those types of questions. Or if you're wondering about pursuing treatments, and we recommend that you go to our website and look at the treatments tab, MagnaWavePEMF.com. There's a treatments tab, and you can click that tab and find a practitioner near you. We ask for your information so we can pair that with the practitioners that are close to where you live if you're looking to have treatments. But certainly think about that. When you're going in and doing a treatment from the practitioner side and from the person looking to have some relief, is make a note of where you are, do the series of a couple of treatments, and see, is it an 8 out of 10, is it a 7 out of 10, and you'll notice that in most cases it continues to get better. Now, and I need to say this, if this person with this elbow problem, if they've had it for a while and it's serious, and you begin to treat them, you got to know that it's going to try to stay where it is. Whatever's irritating it, continuing to irritate it, is still going to be there probably. So it's going to try to come back as soon as you finish. So in that case, to say once a week, you're not going to get ahead of it. We always want to work to get ahead of the situation, and you also need to be cognizant that if it's been there for a year and a half, it's going to be very difficult to say goodbye to it in 15 minutes. And so that's kind of how we do take a look at that type of activity. Kelly, I hope that answers your question. If you have more or something else you'd like for me to do there, please ask again. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have any questions, put them up there. If you have something that you'd like for us to approach or discuss this morning, be happy to do that at this time. I just don't want to keep you on if there are no particular questions today. A lot of things going on in the world of MagnaWaving and MagnaWave, and we're excited about that. And we're always excited to see how people, the people that are on this call this morning are people that follow and ask questions and are ready to help people who are looking for solutions, and they understand what this can do and how it can be utilized. Let's take a look here and see if there's anything else. No other questions at this particular point. One thing I will show you, and I'll discuss here a little bit, is one of our new devices. It's the MagnaWave, what we call the Neuro Wave B2, brain and body stimulation. And so it's PEMF, and it is various cadences of PEMF that will produce the delta, theta, alpha, beta, and gamma types of frequencies. And we achieve it with a frequency of delivery of the PEMF. So it's a cadence, and click, 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 and so that's how it does to mimic the various areas of these frequencies. And the beta is for sleep and relaxation. The theta is another form for sleep and relaxation. I believe it's in the dream state. I'm still very much familiarizing myself with it. Or you can sweep through the two, the delta and the theta. The alpha is the standard let's get up and go situation of the day. If you just want to get good energy and a good cadence to help you prepare for the day or get through the day, that's where the alpha state comes through, or the alpha cadence of PEMF delivery, to have that type of frequency of delivery. And then there's the beta, which is the need to get up and go. If you got something that you're working on and you really want to concentrate with it and help you do it, the cadence of delivery is such to give you that type of motivation to stay with what you're doing. And then the gamma is used not so much here in the United States. We haven't talked about the gamma too much in the United States, but in Europe and places where they get into these frequencies a lot more, the gamma is a state of meditation, or a state of deep, certainly meditation or deep thought, but you really want to be in that state. Or, as there's a little button here in the center, you can sweep between beta and gamma to get all of those types of cadence benefits of that frequency. And the frequency is generated by the cadence of the delivery of the signals. And then up here we have a setting which is a subtle energy therapy, where we're delivering a magnetic at the kind of the Schumann resonance, magnetic field of energy that at the same time. So this would be considered let me explain this. When you talk about some of our competitors that are out there that have low power machines that are working in what they call micro Tesla or milligauss, that they're really very low Gauss delivery units, maybe 50 Gauss or 100 Gauss is what they're delivering to the body. The average Gauss on this particular machine is 500. And so we're dealing anywhere from 350 to 400 Gauss up to 550 Gauss, depending how you sequence these particular buttons. And so if you're looking at this from a a inflammation reduction and pain relieving device, you have some selections there, which is about 10 times or 100 times stronger than some of the low frequency, the Beamers and some of those folks that are out there. With those systems work, but they just take a little longer, a little more time to work for the body. So this is our new device. It's the Neuro Wave B2, brain and body. So you use the cadences to support your brain activity from that perspective, and then the body aspect is how you use those particular frequencies just to help relieve your anxiety, relieve your pain, relieve your inflammation. I'll tell you that one of the things for me, and again, if you have any questions, let me make sure that there's nothing there. One of the things for me is I've had some beginnings of some circulation issues in my lower legs and feet. And I thought, oh my gosh, I'm borderline diabetic. And so I have to watch that all the time. And I rush off to my doctor thinking, well, I'm having a little tingling or this type of thing. Am I developing neuropathy? What do I need to do this? And I go to my doctor and she checks everything out and my blood circulation through my lower extremities and my feet and all this. She says, you're fine. Your circulation is great. You're getting a little older, so this is just something you're going to have to deal with. Well, so at that point in time, I began using my devices every day or as often as possible with the paddle and the various strengths to treat my feet and my legs for circulation, and it worked wonderfully. It did great. Well, so we have this come out, and I decided, okay, it comes with a mat, a large mat that you can lay on for your back or put behind your shoulders and your head. And it also has a paddle that you can use at various pinpoint areas. Sometimes you'll put it under your pillow to give you the cadences of the various frequencies, delta and gamma and alpha that we're trying to achieve. Or what I do, and I decided, okay, I'm going to, just to test this out and see how it's working, I'm going to put the mat, Dr. Brennan DeWeese and I talked about that. Dr. DeWeese is kind of a frequency. He's a chiropractor, and he works with us on our loungers, the MagnaWave PEMF Oasis loungers that have vibration therapy as well as PEMF therapy delivered. And so he and I have been working with this quite a bit, and we talked about maybe various ways to use it. So what I do, and I decided, okay, I'm going to experiment with this. And so I use it every night. I'll turn it on and I'll run the delta or the theta. I've found that when I swing between the two of them, it gives me a little too much energy in the evening and I don't sleep as well. But when I pick either one, it very much enhances my sleep and how I do. But then I take the mat and I place it at my calf and feet, and I'll rest my feet on this mat as I sleep. And I do it every night, and it runs for 8 hours. So when I turn it on these two settings, it runs for 8 hours with the continual therapy, the subtle signal for inflammation reduction and all of that, and then these signals here for relaxation and sleep. To do that, and what I found over a period of time, that it is working. It is supporting whatever I have done with the Max machine and the Mayas and the Semi machines to be quicker. So this time has worked very well, and it's very relaxing, and it's helped that whole situation that I've experienced with my circulation and the feeling that I get there. So at any rate, this is the new MagnaWave B2 brain and body device, and we'll be talking more about that. It'll be on the website soon for people to look at, and it is more powerful than some of the other devices, the Beamer, the Imers, and those machines, and it's actually less. It's not a $5,000 or $6,000 device. It's a $3,500 device. So it's very beneficial from that perspective. We can talk about that if you have any questions, but here it is. If you have questions about it, you can call, and very supportive. There's been some talk. There's been some folks talking about it's so light and portable that you could put it over your shoulder and you could use it to treat the pole of a horse very effectively with various, for the relaxation and so on and so forth, or even small animals to be very effective in that regard. It's not like the immediate results that we get from the Semi, the Wave Pro, the Pulse Pro, and the Max and the Maya. Those get very quick results and are very effective for therapeutic uses and quickly. So that's what's going on there. If you have questions about that or how it may be beneficial to your practice or beneficial to your clients who want to have something at home, that type of thing, or if you want to just know as an individual, how our devices can work, please talk to a practitioner near you, get a treatment, and talk to them about how you can utilize this therapy for your health and wellness. Okay, let's see here, 9:27, no other questions. If you got something that you'd like for me to discuss, I'd be happy to do that. Did you say there was a question? Another question?
Yeah.
It's not showing up yet on my thing. What do I need? Let's see here. Let me just refresh the page. Come back down. Well, I'm not getting it. Can you read it? Great.
Will MagnaWave be selling or have a link to battery power for the digital machines? I have the Maya.
Yes, there are, we've been testing, that's a great question. We've been testing some various battery packs to use with the devices, and they will power. I know people have used motorcycle batteries that they can recharge very easily, and they use inverters, pure sine inverters are on a motorcycle battery, and they can get 3 or 4 hours of use out of that with the Maya or the Max machine. There are some other, we've got one that we just ordered a week or so ago, an inverter battery combination that we're going to test and make available. So yes, those applications are being developed for use that you'll be able to use with your devices when you find yourself in situations where you don't have a good power source or the power that you want or the flexibility of power that you're looking for. Great question. Thanks for asking about battery type of activity. You know, it's and we do talk about one thing, and when people do use battery power or they use inverters off of their car or their truck, if they're somewhere at an event and they want to be able to provide services and they don't have power, we always recommend what we call a pure sine inverter. That means that it cleans up the wave, that is the electrical waves that come into the device. Because of our technology, it needs to be a good signal. Dirty electricity, when I say dirty, not regular type of delivery of electricity, can cause the machines to malfunction or potentially cause a little damage to the devices. So pure sine inverters are what we recommend, and we will certainly, there are ways to use batteries today, and if you want to talk about that, just give us a call and we can do that. But more than anything, it would be if you're using a motorcycle battery, the way the inverters work, they have 2 little clips. You click them on the negative and positive of the battery, being a pure sine, and then plug your device into the plugs that are provided, and away you go. And again, those motorcycle batteries can give you a few hours of delivery, so you might have a couple of them that you keep charged up at home or in your truck, and have them for those types of situations. Let me see if there's anything else. I don't know why that question didn't come up for me. That's interesting. But at any rate, any other questions, put them up there, and I'd be happy to. Great question on the power and the inverting type of question that you presented. Thank you very much. If there's anything else, put it up there. All right, let's see if there's anything else that we can talk about. Oh, again, my number is 502-599-9722, 502-599-9722. If you got a story you'd like to share about how if you're a practitioner, of how you have utilized MagnaWaving and how you've applied it to your customers or to your practice, I'd love to hear it. Give me a call and let's share that and discuss it. I always like to, and this is a throwback to me as I'm waiting for maybe a question here before we say have a great day. Back in the late 90s, I had the pleasure of doing a morning talk show every morning from, I think I was on from 6 till 9 over in Evansville, Indiana, and we talked about everything. We talked about city, we talked about politics, we talked about sports, we just talked about everything. It was just a lot of fun to do that, and I always loved when people would call in and ask questions about what's going on, and certainly in this world of so much going on, there's a lot of questions out there. There's a lot of information being disseminated, and that's one of the reasons that we want to have the Alexa thing. We want to put information out there that's correct. I mean, there's a lot of folks out there with some various companies and various devices that they're selling a PEMF device, but what they're doing is they're selling it on a networking capability or a way that people are doing it to make money. which is fine, but they're really not distributing good education necessarily, because people are not becoming educated in what this is and how it is used. They're becoming educated in how they keep introducing it to people and hopefully selling it to make money. And actually, I understand free enterprise is free enterprise, and that's how these companies have chosen to do it. But I have a personal feeling that really what they're going to do is they potentially are going to set us up, set the industry up for a black eye, not because that it doesn't work, but because people aren't educated. The worst thing somebody can do is buy something, have it not do what someone told them it was going to do as quickly as they said it was going to do it, put it in the corner, and then start telling everybody that it doesn't work. And the only reason we're sitting here this morning having this conversation and are working to educate is because it does work. And we want to answer any question that's presented, and we want to make sure that the facts are there. And I really believe that there's a lot of folks doing some things and spreading some information that is not necessarily correct and does not set the best foot forward for what we're doing. And again, when we bring somebody into the fold, we want them to be educated. We want them to be free to call us or send us an email and talk every day about how to best utilize and what are the best practices and what can someone really expect. I mean, it's kind of like the elbow thing. I mean, we're here because it works, but we also know that it needs to be applied in particular fashion for it to work. And every person is different. Every indication is different. That elbow, if it's caused by a spur or something in the bone or a pinch, and you can't relieve the pinch, you're not going to relieve the issue. And back to that, one of the things that I always say, if when we're treating with the high power equipment, if we treat somebody 7 or 8 times and they're not getting the result they want, there's something else going on. There's something deeper that they need to get to their doctor and figure out what it is. Where is it? I mean, it's in the elbow, but it could be coming from a pinch back here, and we're not treating back here. And so that's something that you need to look at. So you need to look at all of those things. I cut my thumb over the weekend cutting some lemons and limes, and I took a little chunk out of my finger. But at any rate, I got an issue sometimes with this thumb on my left hand, and kind of an arthritic kind of thing. Well, it's right here. So if I treat right here, I get relief down here. And so it could be the same thing on the elbow. You need to treat the elbow, but there could be someplace else that it's coming from. My son-in-law has, so you might call it, he's a bass player as well as a jockey's agent, but he has some issues with his hands and wrists from time to time, and the doctor determined it's from his low back. And so you need to know where you're going, what you're treating in order to get the relief and the things that you're looking for to solve those kind of problems. Any other questions, Brad?
We have one. Terry says, can you talk for a minute about the MagnaWave difference with both low and high frequency pulses?
Sure. I'm going to talk about low and high intensity pulses. And the frequency, as far as the MagnaWave is concerned, is the speed of delivery. So we change our delivery speeds through a cadence to reach these different levels of energy that the body wants to accept with the B2 device. And we do the same thing with the Semi, Wave Pro, Pulse Pro, Maya, and Max machines. You could go from a very fast cadence or frequency to a very slow cadence or frequency. And the difference there is the amount of energy that you're putting into the area. The slower the frequency, the stronger the signal, more energy you're putting in. You'll see it pulsing in the body at that point where it's being delivered. The very low signal, and that's one of the things that some companies that we compete with, they'll say, well, you don't need that high power, you just need the low signal and it'll work, and it just you do it every day for an hour or whatever, and you'll over time achieve the results you want. Well, we've kind of learned that people want results as quickly as they can get them, and then they want to maintain them, and so that type of thing. So the lower power, the lower frequency, if you will, frequency of delivery of the intensity takes longer. So to to put that on your knee, for example, and treat at a very, very low frequency, you may have to treat it an hour a day every day to get the relief that you really want over a period of time. And so with the higher intensity, you can get a more rapid response. And then you can use the lower intensities that are more comfortable to support what you've done or what you've achieved. And people, I will do that. I don't have a lot of back problems that I deal with, but when I get out into the yard, or if I go do something and I'm lifting and carrying, helping somebody do something, and all of a sudden my back is sore and achy, I'll treat myself 2 or 3 times or 4 times for 8 to 10 minutes per setting at a higher intensity in order to get the relief more rapidly, in order to get maintained. And now what I'm doing, just as a test to better understand what I'm doing, I'll use my B2 device through the evening or through the night as I'm sleeping to, number one, sleep better, and I really am sleeping well, better than I had been, and also to help maintain what I'm doing with the higher intensities as I need them. And so there you go. That's how I look at it. So I think hope that answers your question about the various the difference between the low and the high. So our machine will give you a very low power, low intensity delivery that's incredibly comfortable and allows you to have relaxation, but it takes longer. So our higher intensities that are available give you more flexibility how to approach various areas. As I said, it's harder to get inflammation out of a nerve or a tendon than it is out of soft tissue muscle. So you want to do it a little more intense, a little more often to get the relief there, and it can be achieved. That's why so many professional athletes and professional teams use our equipment, because when these athletes have an issue, they can get right on it, get it at an intensity that helps reverse it or keep it from getting worse from the get-go. You know, a lot of times when an athlete has an injury and it's the inflammation, they'll have the injury, and all of a sudden, as it begins to become inflamed, it gets more intense. The injury now is harder to heal because we got to get rid of the inflammation so the tendon and the muscle and all this stuff can start coming back. So the quicker they get on it with an intensity that allows them to get on it rapidly, bingo, they get the relief and they get the reversal, or they get the healing. They let the body is able to heal itself more rapidly and in a more effective manner. So I hope that answers your question. If you'd like it clarified a little more, or something maybe that I missed that you were looking for, put it on there. Brad will give it to us. I'm very interested in why it's not showing up on my screen, but it is. We had this problem last time, Brad.
We have one more.
Okay.
And Phoebe Chong asks if we have any distributors in Asian countries.
At this point, no distributors in Asian countries. Can we go? Yes, we can put equipment anywhere that people will desire to take it, but no representation outside of folks from those countries reaching out to us. We have machines all over the world. We have them in South America, we have them in Asia, we have them certainly in Europe, Canada, Australia, that we've been able to put machines in and help people achieve the health and wellness they're looking for themselves, their small animals, their horses, whatever the situation may be. Great question. If you're interested, reach out to us, and we'd love to work with people in various manners as they look to use this form of energy for health and wellness. Any other questions? Throw them out. No other questions at this point? Okay. So again, just to kind of reiterate what's going on, the MagnaWave Flash Briefing will be, I've already started producing them, and I've got several ready to go, and we're going to start loading them up, and so you'll be able to pick up wherever they are. It's the kind of thing, and I had to learn this, I do a Flash Briefing with Gary Vaynerchuk every morning, and so I listen to it, and I get what he's produced, or what has been produced by his organization for that day. It doesn't go back and start at the beginning. Now, when we get into the skills portion of Alexa and these programs, you'll start at the beginning. You'll start a skill set, and you'll start at the beginning and move right along with the progression, the history, or how you can use it in your own daily type of thing. And if you have questions, that'll be the next thing, where you'll be able to ask a question of Alexa, and Alexa will come back and give you the answer to your question. It's going to take a lot more for us to do that, but we are already in the process, certainly of over the years. I mean, we got thousands of questions that have been asked of us over the years that we're going to basically put into this format that you'll just be able to ask on your phone or at your Alexa. How does this work? What can this do for, what can PEMF or what can MagnaWaving do for this, for me? In this particular type of situation, we're not going to present it in a way. We're not diagnosing anything. We're just giving some history, some questions people have asked, and how this supplementation can be beneficial for health and wellness. So we're excited about that, and I like doing that stuff. It's a shiny object to me, squirrel, or something like that. So at any rate, that's what we're doing. So we're looking forward to the flash briefings. Pay attention to the website and to the MagnaWave Facebook page. Those in the certified practitioner page, it'll be discussed there so you can see it and encourage your customers. A great way for you as practitioners, you'll be able to give the flash briefing information or have your customers or your clients sign up. So if they have interest, they can pop up and ask a question, which will reinforce what you're talking with them about on a daily basis and give you more contact, more touches with your clients. So we're really very excited about that. And the MagnaWave Express coming to a city near you. I got a lot of cities to cover, so it'll be interesting to see how that goes. But we're looking forward to beginning the MagnaWave Express. Okay, it's about quarter till 10. We have another meeting at 10 o'clock I need to be heading to. So any other questions, Brad? Okay, Brad Clem is with us basically in the studio this morning, and he's kind of become my video guy to help us produce these programs, make everything go well, and to produce more content that we can share with the flash briefings and that type of thing. So I'm glad Brad's here and he's helping us with questions, and certainly hopefully the video quality, I'm sure it is, because he's got a better camera going today than I've had. So that's pretty cool. So at any rate, thank you for joining me. I always enjoy it. Look forward to being with you next Tuesday morning for office hours. I believe I've got a webinar this week, and I've kind of lost track of what's going on, but pay attention or see the Facebook page, and we'll be bringing you a MagnaWave Wellness webinar dealing with a specific issue later this week. I think that's on the schedule. If it's not, it'll be next week. So, at any rate, thanks for joining me. Have a great day. Wave on.